Good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome to Throwbacks, where we talk all things cool and retro. I'm your host, Brad, and this is my co host, the hostess with the mostest, Uncle BJ.
Hey, everybody.
Look at there, we still know how to do this. It's been a few weeks since we've been on here, but we're making a top 10 figures of 2023. Obviously, this is an opinion based by what we like, what we don't like, so, you know, whatever kind of measure you want to take it by. It's just kind of what we dug this year.
It's just some stuff we picked up and some stuff we thought was cool. May not be the best list, but it's the one we have, and you're gonna listen to it.
Yeah, so definitely drop in the comments on the YouTube page. You know what your top 10 were. What do you think about our top 10? And open it up for a little debate. Is always fun.
Yeah, give us a comment, a
So
little conversation.
we
We're
did
down
our
for
best
you.
to try to make sure that these were all released in 2023. So if we may be off a week or two, or maybe even a month, or just maybe something that came out and we didn't get it until 2023. But all of this should be 2023. So we're going to start off with honorable mentions. Uncle BJ, I think you've got one, two, three, four, five or so honorable mentions. So we'll let you go ahead and go first with your honorable mentions list.
I have a bunch. I bought a lot of stuff this year, and a lot of stuff was really good, but a lot of stuff was also kind of the same. And so while I had to kind of shuffle stuff around, some stuff became outside of the top 10, but it was still good. And I just want to I'm gonna go ahead and show all of them if that's okay.
Go for it.
All right. Um, this is Wind Charger and Gears from Magic Square. They are Legends scale Transformers. They do transform, and they're pretty cool. And they made honorable mention just because they are itty bitty dudes that look super accurate to the cartoon. They transform. They look good, and I dig it.
Right on.
Okay. And next one's going to be bigger gears from Fans Toys, and I just got this guy, and he's a really good figure. Um, he's just a very good gears, uh, but I mean, I wasn't super excited to get him because at the end of the day, he was just replacing my bad cube one that I've had for like a decade now. Well, not a decade,
Right.
but a long time. But same with him. He looks very accurate. He's very good, and he'll probably be the only gears I'll ever need ever again. And a couple quick more, and I'll explain why. Um, GI Joe Classified Shipwreck.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I just the GI Joe Classified line has been really really good, and the toys are getting more expensive all around. There's nothing we can really do about it. But what the toy makers can do about it is give us a little bit more quality or a little more bang for our buck. And I feel like they're really doing that with the classified line. And I think, Shipwreck just, one of my favorite characters. And speaking of increased prices, uh, this clone trooper is just a clone trooper, but he was released as a Target exclusive, Commander Apo, and he's in his very clean, uh, very little weathered 501st Battalion colors. His helmet comes off. You've seen the review, and should be no surprise what he looks like. He's a clone, but it's the only reason I thought this was cool, despite the horrible, making something a exclusive and the higher price. It's just the fact that they finally made a basic clone with a removable helmet that looks cool. It's a new sculpt. It just looks good. And why it didn't get higher on my list is, well, it's an exclusive. It costs too much, and they really should have done this like 4 years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
But and that's it. All I have is my top 10. After that,
All right. So I've only got one honorable mention, but kind of like you were saying about your big gears is one that you weren't like super excited for, but then it shows up and you're like, oh, well, pleasantly surprised. And this is kind of one like that where I was a little excited, more intrigued than anything, but then once it got here, I was pretty blown away. And that is from the Indiana Jones line, the Knight Templar. This figure blew me away. You talk about bang for your buck. Kind of surprised this one wasn't one of those $30, $35, type ones with all the accessories and things like that you get with him. But was super surprised with the accessories, the cups, the grails, all that kind of stuff, sword, cape, all that things. And this could be, you can throw this in so many different collections. You could sneak it into your Joes as some kind of background time travel type thing. You can put this almost anywhere as just a generic knight. So honorable mention, the knight from the Indiana Jones line.
Cool. Yeah, he almost made my list. Too. Really good figure.
Very good. All right, Uncle BJ, number 10.
So number 10 is apparently a line only I like because nobody cared about my review. They said, "Oh man, you're stupid." Said you suck. Everything you like sucks. Your family sucks. I was like, okay, fair enough. But Flange Doozer from the Fraggle Rock uh, toy line from Boss Fight Studios. I like Fraggle Rock. I'm glad they're making these figures, and that's why he made the list. And I'm excited for him. I can't wait to get more Fraggle Rock characters, and hopefully he's, I'm like, oh, Doozer, Doozer isn't my favorite character, obviously, but I'm excited that they're making these, so that's why he's on the list, and he's pretty cool, cute little guy.
Very cool. All right, we'll start with number 10 for me, and we've got from Super 7, the Putty Patroller. Now, this is kind of a unique one for me because really the figure is fine. It's average for me. But it's the accessories that came with this figure that put it into my top 10. As a Putty Patroller, he's a Putty Patroller, Super 7 articulation, you get what you get. But his accessories really kind of helped fill out my other Putty Patrollers and Lightning Collection from Hasbro line. So you get, extra stuff like the Putty Patroller with the football thing from that episode that really helps, add stuff to it. You get another Putty Patroller with the no clowning around episode. That was one of my favorites as a kid that I had on VHS, where, especially back then, where they put literally one episode on a VHS, so you get 27 minutes of of airtime. So coming in at number 10 is the Super 7 Putty Patroller.
Very cool. Good figure.
All right, okay. Now to Uncle BJ's number 9.
I am on number 9, yes. And this figure may surprise you. And don't bring this figure with you into the Tin Roof in Orlando, or you won't get any food. This is the Hollywood Hulk Hogan with his the first. This is in his NWO gear, and they may have made a figure like this in the past, but I don't know. This is the first one I ever found, and I didn't think I would ever get one of these. And it came in a pretty cool little like build-a-figure wave.
And that's from his match at WrestleMania with The Rock, which is kind of known as the match of all time.
Okay, well, thank you. I wasn't sure which. Like, I knew this wasn't his first appearance like this, obviously, but
right.
Yeah. Anyway,
very good.
Very good. Very cool. Didn't think it would ever happen, but they made one, so very good.
All right. And back to Boss Fight, making appearance number 2 in the countdown. We've got Boss Fight Studios Ultimo Dragon. This is basically a basic, at least the new basics and how they are with the articulation. But holy crap, did they just knock this out of the park. Honestly, if this was an elite scale, or not scale, but elite articulation and things like that with maybe with a belt, um, from like a Ultimate Mattel, that kind of thing, it would be a top 10 just for those extra little things, or number one really.
And
For all
what is
those,
he from?
this is WCW time frame, which I'm sure they just were able to get around that by, um, finding some old footage or something of him in a different promotion and being able to make it. But that's definitely WCW gear for Ultimo Dragon.
Okay, I hadn't seen that guy. I was curious how they did that. I was like, huh, okay.
Yeah, he's a. I mean, it's definitely a WCW guy, so he would fall under
Right.
the Hasbro marketing stuff. But if they can find footage of him in a different match, then they can say no, that's where that's from. That's how a lot of people get away with stuff.
Right on. Did not know that. Okay,
Number
we're on number 8, and okay, this is going to be an odd um, choice for me because it's actually a set, and
oh
it's
okay.
3 figures, and they're carded, and I don't want to uncard them.
Uh,
So,
you coward.
well, if you see it,
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha.
yeah, this is the characters from Labyrinth. This is Hoggle, and I don't know how well you can see that, but he's a pretty cool little dude.
And for those listening, this is like a reaction size.
Yeah, this is 3 3/4 scale. This is made by. It looks like it's Super 7 ish, but it's actually this company called Plastic Meatball, and it's
Oh,
they're
okay.
kind of rare. It's kind of up and coming thing, and I figured I would, and they these were fair prices too. So these were, oh, what was that?
Sneeze. Sorry.
But yeah, I got all these for a good price, and they look really good. And a lot of detail went into these for being kind of a vintage esque figure. Um,
Yeah, and the carding's rad.
yeah, looks good. Sarah comes with the worm, like, oh no, just a worm, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's Jareth, the Goblin King, and he comes with his little stick there, or whatever, and that he thought was a microphone that he was singing into when he was singing Dance Magic Dance. But
Mm-hmm.
great, yeah. I just dig it. I like stuff like this that just kind of comes out of nowhere and is a true throwback. You know what I mean?
It is indeed. All right, number 8 for me, and we get Dr. Jones Sr. from the Indiana Jones line.
Woo!
Uh, a very simple figure, but a very well done figure. Nailed the face. Tons of accessories with this, from his umbrella to his suitcase to his journal. Glasses are great; they stay on really good. His little bonnet hat there stays on really good. Good articulation. Not that you really even need a whole lot of articulation for a old man Jones here, but number 8, Henry Jones Sr., right? He was still Henry, wasn't he? Either
Yeah,
way, Dr. Jones Sr.
yeah. All right.
Number 7 for Uncle BJ.
So my number 7 is had to really think about this. This is the
Uh,
Return of the Jedi Chewbacca,
Underrated.
and I thought this was cool and it's mostly notable because you'll notice this is the first. There's Chewbacca always looks the same. He doesn't really change. He wears the same fur in every movie, but this is the first time they've put the little chain around him that they bothered to sculpt a new head or neck or whatever.
Yeah, his face is
So
way different.
yeah, yeah, he looks good. Yeah, he looks like Chewbacca.
Yeah, distinctively different. Like
Yeah.
a very clearly different Chewbacca.
And he wasn't like some stupid exclusive that you can only get at like one store, and You're never gonna find. These were pretty easy to find, and talk about bang for your buck. It wasn't overpriced, and it was actually different enough to get and for me to want. So
Yep.
Star Wars figures have honestly been kind of lackluster lately. It just feels like you're kind of checking the box. But this one felt like something genuinely kind of neat that I was like, oh, I want that in my collection. You know what I mean?
And it's very much a Return of the Jedi Chewie, so you can definitely have if you have your shelf spy movie. That's a very easy one to do.
Yeah, that's what we do.
All right, well, let's stay on the Star Wars train, and let's also stay on the Black Series train for Darth Vader from the Obi-Wan series with his face battle damaged, his cape's torn in the back. He's got a nice big cut in the back, but this one was I just thought it was rad. The sculpt on the inside, how they did that is just awesome. With the Anakin face, the battle damage. A simple figure with just a few tweaks, but how they executed I was blown away by this figure. So very good. Very easily to put in my top 10 was the Obi-Wan series Darth Vader battle damaged from Hasbro Black Series.
Very cool figure. He'd probably be on my list, but I wasn't lucky enough to find him. So.
Oh no.
Does that helmet come off?
I don't think so. No.
Anyway, that's cool. Looks really good. Okay, so
On
we're
to
on
number 6.
6. Okay, this is also going to be kind of a group pairing. This is the Masterminds Creations, First Aid, and Streetwise, the Protectobots. And they didn't come out at the same time, but they're part of a set. They're part of the Protectobots, and it's very cool to finally get some Protectobots in my collection, and hopefully they'll make the rest of the team. And I just thought these looked really good. So they were kind of a tie. I tried to think which one I like better, and I'm like, well, I like them as a team. So if I had all 5 of them, it would be the Protectobots.
There you go.
So there.
All right. Number 6 comes
What
to
you
you from Power Town. We get Power Town Ultimate Bruiser Brody. Just a very cool old school character, a brand new startup company, and they came out of the box swinging. They just announced their Wave 2 coming, and currently they have a Kerry Von Erich repaint that's kind of, I think they're calling it their Diamond Collection. He's in his all white gear, kind of jumping on the Iron Claw movie bandwagon there. But yeah, number 6, the Bruiser Brody Ultimate from Power Town. And before we jump into number 5, since this will probably be the last time we record before Christmas, we have to take a little break.
Let's do it.
Santa's coming to town. Santa! Oh my God! Santa here? I know him.
Santa truly is here, as he will be here in 2 days. We are 2 days away from Christmas as of this recording. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, everybody that listens, everybody that loves, everybody that hates, goodwill towards men, all that good stuff. So, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But now, it's time to get on to our top 5 figures of 2023, and Uncle BJ, lead the way.
Okay, so number 5 for me going to be X-Transbots Punch Counterpunch. And you can check out the review I did on him. His name, the third party name is Bond James, because he's like a secret agent. But he's pretty cool. He's both, he's an Autobot, but he can turn into a Decepticon. He can disguise himself as a Decepticon, and he turns into a pretty rad car. So some people didn't like this figure, but I thought he was pretty awesome. So cool. I still need to put the Autobot sticker on him. Looks like
Oh, there you go.
pretty cool. Punch counter punch.
Punch counter punch coming in at number 5. All right, so on to my number 5, and we will go with Super 7. Again, this was definitely released before this year, but I just got it this year. But Donatello Super 7 Ultimate, just super shocked by how good this figure was. The detail on his chest. So these are, for those that don't know, these are made after kind of like the ultimate representation of the figure, as they were back in the day. So these are made after like the original figures, just obviously upscaled, more details, articulation, and all that good stuff. But if you ever hold one of these in your hand, you just see how much detail there is, all the way around, from the battle marks on his back, you can see there if you're watching on YouTube, and the articulation and everything. So very surprised with this figure. Definitely came out before 2023, but this is when I got into the line. So Donatello coming in at number 5.
Woo! Cowabunga. He doesn't say that. He doesn't. All right. So number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4 for me is going to be Star Toys Blitzwing. And for the Transformers collectors that know, getting a good Blitzwing has been horrible nightmare. There's been a few versions of him. Some were okay, but I think none really hit it on the head like this guy. And this was a company that I think has changed their name a couple times and done a couple different things. But if our theories are correct, the company that made this has done some very good Transformers. They're currently Star Toys, so for whatever that's worth. But they made a good Blitzwing. He looks great. He stands. He's very posable. He turns into a tank and a jet, and he's pretty awesome. And I got him for. I'm not going to say how much I got it for, but I got it for really cheap, which you will not get a Transformer like this from any other company for that cheap. I promise you. So anyway, Blitzwing.
Cheap and quality. Can't beat that. So I got a figure that wasn't very cheap originally, but I was able to get it at a steel ski of a deal ski. One that is probably going to shock some people, and especially Uncle BJ here, but it is the Black Series Luke Skywalker from the Book of Boba Fett, that came with the Grogu. Now, this is just a matter of simplicity executed very well. From the detail on his boots and his pants actually looking like pants, his little schmuck shirt here, his gloves, down to his little top of his shirt, and then an amazing face scan, I think, of Luke, the backpack that carries Grogu, etc. And then it's got some good accessories. The original price point was crazy, but I, of course, did not pay that original price point. I played the long game and got him for, I think, $15 to $20, whatever. So basically, a normal, what it should be price. So that was a very well executed, simplistic, not over the top, not a lot of bells and whistles, but just very well done, solid figure for my number 4. Time to move into top 3 with Uncle BJ's top 3. Now this is these should be the heavy hitters of the group, so let's see what we got.
Okay, so I make kind of weird choices because it's all about what I like, and again, it's a number. They're a pair. They didn't come out together, but this is Magic Squares, Ratchet, and Ironhide, and I've always been a big fan of these guys, and they have just been done dirty in the action figure department. Like, I still don't feel like we have really any good masterpiece representation of these guys out there currently, but Magic Square really made them look good. and they transform into their little. Some people don't like their alt modes, which is a little van. But if you watch the cartoon, I would arguably say their vans look goofy anyway, so it doesn't matter. What I want them to look good in is their robot mode, and the sculpt looks great. Their articulation is perfect. They transform basically flawlessly, and they're just good. It's good to finally have good representations of these. They're legend scale. They're not masterpiece scale, but they're pretty cool, and I'm glad I got them.
All right, all right. For my number 3, we've got from Mattel, we've got from the movie Skeletor. Now, I am a very, very dabbler in anything Motu, but this figure was wild for the value, for the price, everything. The cloth goods, the details on his little robes there, his little armor, all the way to the face sculpt, which I think is just a home run on the face sculpt. His staff is great. Just an overall, just ridiculously solid figure, and a great bang for your buck, I feel like, from the Mattel Masters of the Universe line. So, number 3 for me, Skeletor.
Was that from the Revelations line?
I think so.
Evolution?
Whatever. Yeah, Origins, I think. Yeah.
No, it's not Origins.
But
Origins is the smaller scale.
I can't think of which one it's from. I just saw it and was like, that's freaking rad. I need that.
It is a good figure. It's funny because I'm more of the Motu collector than Brad is, but I just don't have that figure.
Yeah. It's just, when I croak, you can come steal it from me.
No, don't say that. There were some Motu figures that I really liked that would have been on the list, but I think they were actually last year.
Yeah.
So I didn't add them. So anyway, my number 2.
Top
2. Fans Toys Cliff Jumper. Now this figure knocked it out of the park. For those that have felt the pain of trying to get their original 1984 Autobot crew complete, we have had some decent Cliff Jumpers, but they've all kind of sucked in one way or the other. And I think Fans Toys has come along and said, "No, man, we got this. Here you go. You don't need another one now."
Nice.
And he is just solid, really good figure, and I dig it. So,
beautiful.
Cliff Jumper. All right.
Whew. My number 2 comes to you from the Super 7 line once again, and also comes from the Power Rangers line once again, in the ultimate form of the T-Rex, Tyrannosaurus Rex from the Power Rangers. This thing is massive. It is heavy. It is the absolute best representation of how the Zords looked in the TV show. With, there's a human in here. So, and it's not made to transform, so that you can actually get the proportions right on everything and the body type. So they just blew me away with this figure this year, and the heaviness of it, the girth of it, just beautiful. So number 2 for me from Super 7 Ultimates, the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Awesome.
Ooh,
Okay,
number 1.
Ooh, now it's time for number 1. All right. So, I like what I like, and I stick to that.
Here we go.
And number 1 for me is might be a surprise, but it's gonna be G.I. Joe Classified Hawk.
There we go.
Why is he number 1? Because he's freaking Hawk. He's the leader of G.I. Joe. He's awesome. I'm glad this wasn't in the first wave of Classified that they made, because they would have made him look goofy, and I wouldn't have liked him. But they made him a little later down the line where he looks good. He's accurate. He's got all the details that you would expect Hawk to have. and he's just a great figure. Something about it is like cool. It's really hard to. Sometimes it's hard to put your finger on. When you think of GI Joe, which particular character do you think of? And a lot of people wouldn't say Hawk, but if you've read the comic books from day one, Hawk has always been like the guy in charge. And so he didn't quite shine in the cartoon until later on, and then not even really then too much. But anyway, he was a great figure. They gave us plenty of quality and value for $25, and I was just very pleased to get him. So, Hawk, General Hawk.
General Hawk, man, you just made it into the list.
Yeah,
Couple
real.
the review just went up. I think either this week or early last week. So
I think yesterday, wasn't it?
was it yesterday?
I had uploaded it a couple days ago, and then we stopped it for whatever because we had like too many things going or what.
Gotcha.
Doesn't.
All right. So my number one week comes from NECA, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 4-pack. I'm just going to show one here. And we've got the Turtles from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 3, Turtles in Time, however you want to call it. These I have waited for years and years and years and years and years. It's one of my favorite movies. I know it's the movie that gets poo-pooed on the most, but I think it's probably the movie I watched the most as a kid. So it holds a very special place with me. Crazy good detail, accessories galore, just the levels of coats from the soft goods overcoat to the other coat to underneath him to his shell. Everything is just crazy good. His helmet here, detail's awesome. The mask is great. And like I said, the time turner here, the non-damaged one is just great, and it comes with multiple of those. So just an all-around amazing figure, amazing 4-pack, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, NECA, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 3, Turtles in Time, and in this case, Donatello.
With his Visionaries staff.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes with the 4 turtles, right? Doesn't come with like anybody else.
Yeah, 4 turtles, and then it comes with all like the time turners and all that stuff. And then, of course, I made my little diorama for him, which hopefully we do get some.
Tina Turner. That's what I was like. That's weird.
Yeah, we can get Tina Turner. That'd be cool. We're still waiting for that Vanilla Ice figure. Come on, let's get that Vanilla Ice figure from Secret of the Ooze, and that'll be something to look forward to.
Feel like that could happen.
I mean, you would think.
I don't think that'd be too hard to strike a deal with.
No, I'm sure he'd be down for it. But that's it. That's our 2023 top 10 figures of the year. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. But that's it for now. We're going to throw one back. Anything else you got there, Uncle BJ?
Well, I just want to thank you as always, Brad, the ratchet to my Ironhide, the wind charger to my gears, and pleasure to be here with you doing this. I hope everybody out in podcast land and YouTube land has enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a like, a share, comment, chat with us, send us a message, send us an email, and just have fun. Hope you dig it. Hope you guys are having a good holiday.
All right. We will see you later. Make sure to throw one back and have a Merry Christmas.
See ya.